going to be talking about really what leadership is to them and around really 3 different topics that we're going to talk about. And the first one is responsibility for your impact. When we talk about impact, it's about your emotional impact that you have on other people. Some people, when they walk into a room, might make you want to dance, whereas other people have an impact where you just feel safe, you feel relaxed. Other ones might inject a little bit of energy, a little bit of electricity into them. But we all have an impact on people whenever we show up, and especially when we show up as leaders, then our impact gets supercharged. So what we're going to be talking about is, in kind of this whole motorcycle metaphor realm, is that the same thing happens when you're on a motorcycle, is that your impact is supercharged with people around you. So let's bring that into when we talk with leaders and what happens there. The next thing we're going to get into is sometimes what happens to us is that we get focused on maybe an obstacle that's in front of us, but it's not, we mistake it as that's our objective, that's where we need to go. But in reality, we are focused on the wrong thing. In motorcycling, we call that target fixation. It's when your brain recognizes an obstacle or a block in front of you as something that you go towards. Now, in a motorcycle, a lot of your control and your movement comes from your body. It's not just your head. So really the only way to get a target fixation is you have to snap yourself out of it, and you really have to look where you need to go. So you have to pull your eyes away from that danger, that fear, that obstacle in front of you, and move it to where you need to go. And the last thing we're going to get into is what I think is the most important, and really the reason why I do this, is around asking for help. And asking for help in a time and a place when maybe you don't feel you can, where you feel like you need to be the person that knows everything, that has the answers. I run into this all the time. I keep running into this all the time. And in my business and what I do is that I feel I should know how to do this. I should know how to get to that next step. When in reality, what I need to do is I need to get vulnerable. I need to take my ego out of it, and I have to reach out for some help. And then when you do reach out for that help, the other part of it is you need to be ready to accept the help that you're going to receive, because we sometimes can't orchestrate that help that we're going to get. We be very specific in what we're asking for, and then be open and work with what we have. I'm really excited because that's, let's say, what I've got planned, but we don't know what's going to happen. Like, different things are going to come up in the conversation tonight. This is not me talking for an hour and a half in front of people. This is putting some things into the space, and then we're going to react to it. We're going to discuss it. We're going to see what comes up for each of these people. And that's all really cool. So looking forward to this. I'll tell you why. Why do I do this stuff? And we talked about on the break where I started out as this pharmaceutical sales trainer. That's where my thing is. So how did I get from pharmaceutical sales training to leadership in motorcycles? And for me, what is so important for me is, and I've seen it and I've lived it, is that there's a lot of leaders and a lot of managers and a lot of owners of companies that either they don't know that it can be a different way, like it can be better, and it's actually not that hard to make it a little bit better. Most of the frustrations that we deal with on a day-to-day are not necessarily with the spreadsheet that we're working on, but it's with the people that we work with. All of our challenges are with people, and if I can have a positive impact on just one person of where they're able to adjust those interactions they have with people for a better impact, then like that, my cup's full. Like, that's cool.
If you wouldn't mind sharing, and I apologize if you already have earlier, but what was the purpose of writing this book?
So my purpose was like the target. So I'll go very specific. So the target of the book was it's that manager, that director, that VP, or that owner of a company that gets up in the morning and they're fired up, they're ready to go, they're motivated, like they're almost a perpetual motion machine, right? Where they just know what they want, they know what they need to do, and they go get it. They get to the office, they see their team around them, and it's a great team. They love them. They got the right people in the right place, but the team isn't as engaged as they are. So how do they get their team as engaged and as pumped as they are about what they're trying to do? And that was who the target was, because I believe that the first step in that stuff for that leader is one, it's around self-awareness of getting in touch with what's important for them. Why do they do it? Why do they get up in the morning? And how come they're like raring to go with their feet at the ground and they're pumped? Getting in touch with that, and then having their team understand that. So understand what pumps them, why they get up. And it could be something around, maybe that's something to do with their little brother when they were growing up, and it was something very personal that motivates them to do what they do now. The objective is to be able to take down some of these barriers of people where they feel like they can't share that, they can't get that intimate with their people. And I do believe that when you get intimate with your team, intimate, I don't mean intimate. It's like take away some of those barriers to open themselves up to their teams, then that helps their teams connect with them.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.